Alrighty, hey guys, FunnyGuyTimmy here. Earlier today, someone messaged me on one of my other videos asking, hey, how can I get started in doing voiceover? Basically, how to, what are the first steps? So I've done a couple videos when it's how to get started, how to set up, but this was kind of from zero. This is kind of from ground zero. And so I actually wanted to share with you guys what I actually replied with, just in case you have the same question. So basically, first, you need to understand what it is that you're going into. You need to understand what it is you're taking on. You need to understand exactly what voiceover is. A lot of people think that voiceover is just doing cartoons or just doing video games, and a lot of people still think that you have to go into a studio to do this, and you don't. But you need to know, if you're not going into a studio and you don't have an agent, which you wouldn't at first, you'd need to know how to build your own, what mic to get, and all this kind of. So you need to do a lot of research. I suggest 2 hours a day you need to dedicate to watching videos, everything that you can on voiceover, on that specific area, whatever it is. You need to focus on it. Also know that voiceover, if you're going into voiceover, you're not just going to be doing the one thing you enjoy doing. You're not just going to be doing video game voices or cartoon character voices or anime voices. You're going to be doing all of it. You have to go in and do all of it, especially if you're trying to sustain an income. You have to go in and take on the radio and the commercial and the narration and the telephone messaging. You have to take on all of that because at first no one's going to know who you are. No one's going to know who you are, and you're probably not going to have talent enough to take on the people who've been doing it longer. So you're not going to be able to go in and do auditions and then land all the auditions that you want. You're going to have to go in and you're going to have to spread yourself pretty thin at first until you get an idea of what it is you're doing, until you get a better idea of where to start and what it is that you actually love and whether or not it's even for you. If you just want to do, I would love to do video game voices, go ahead and do the research. If you're still interested, get a mic, simple setup, try doing the auditions, try a few gigs, and if you find out you don't enjoy it, sell the microphone, totally fine, and go find whatever it is that you actually do enjoy. So that's the first thing that I say. Know what you're getting yourself into. Second is, and this is part of the knowing what you're getting yourself into, but it's a little bit more specific. It's becoming an audio engineer before you become a voice actor. You're going to need to know how to work all the gear that you're using, how to create a good sound setup, a good voiceover studio, and that's going to be audio engineering. That's going to be the more technical side of voiceover. You have to master that first before you can master voiceover, because otherwise, how are you going to even know the right way of getting your voice out there to the people and making it sound good? So you need to know the equipment, you need to know the space that you need to work in, you need to know microphones, you need to know all this before you can even go into the actual acting part. Then after you've mastered all of that, you need to then buy the right microphone for your voice. If you have a really deep voice, buy a brighter microphone. If you have a sibilant voice or a brighter voice, buy a little bit more bassier microphone or a microphone that flatters more the low ends, because you're going to want a really even tone. You don't want an overly bassy or an overly sibilant voice to record into the system through the microphone, because then it's going to be harder to EQ and it's going to be harder to do all this stuff. And you want to limit the amount of EQing that you're doing. The less processing and compression and EQing and noise cleanup that you do, the better it's going to sound. And the better chance you're going to get of getting clients and getting work and landing the auditions. So you need to know the right voice for the right microphone for your voice, which is part of the whole engineering thing. Now, the fourth thing that I'd suggest, which really isn't the fourth thing, this is really something that should be going on consistently from beginning to end. You should never stop doing this, but it's the fourth thing, is watch as many free videos online on YouTube and as much free stuff that you can on voiceover in general. Just big blanket sweeps of voiceover. If it's other voice actors doing vlogs, if it's behind the scenes, if it's setup videos, microphone reviews, as much as you can. Watch as much free stuff as you can because it's going to help you on later, especially getting to know the ins and outs of different microphones, different equipment. Watch as much as you can. And like I said, 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day basically should dedicate towards watching videos that are going to pertain to what it is you're wanting to take on. The fifth thing that I suggest is, and this isn't for everyone, a lot of people don't really get this one, and a lot of people don't like this one, get on stage. Get on stage, whether it's an improv group, whether it's a local theater, whether it's to do stand-up comedy, whether it's to do poetry, singing, music, go to a karaoke bar and do some singing, whatever it is. Get comfortable in front of people. What I find with a lot of people is if they're very shy, very introverted, and they don't get in front of people at all, and they don't like talking in public, and they're very shy, even when they're alone in a studio like this, and they have a script in front of them and a microphone, they'll freeze up a lot. There's no one watching them, but they'll freeze up. The idea is that they know that someone is going to listen to this. They know that someone is going to hear them speak, and someone is going to hear them record. Someone is going to listen to the audio that they've recorded, so then they freeze up, and it's all in their head, and they're just overwhelmed. Well, if you get on stage and you're comfortable being in front of people and you're comfortable doing stand-up and doing improv or doing singing, you're not going to get as shy. You're not going to freeze up. You're not going to seize up when it's time to record. You're going to be way more comfortable, and you're not going to be all locked up in your head as much. So it's something that I suggest. Now, if you're someone who's extroverted, this might not be a problem for you. If you're someone who loves going to parties, loves meeting new people, going to new places, loves traveling around, you're probably not going to be as scared in front of a microphone. Now, you might still be. But what I've often found is the artistic people who want to do the voiceover, they often don't get in front of people. They're very, good on one-on-one, with people they're very comfortable with. But when it comes to new people and new experiences and new words and saying things that they don't really feel, they seize up. So get on stage, get comfortable in front of large groups. Number 6, coaching. Get coaching. Now, you don't have to go and move to LA to take the month-long or week-long courses that the biggest voice actors do in their personal studio. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to. You can do a one-on-one online over Skype with tons of great voice actors who have been doing this for years. Now, the goal is to find someone who has been doing voiceover for years, who does know what they're doing, who does actually do this for a living. You don't want to find a coach or look for a coach or take coaching lessons from someone who lives off coaching. And what I mean by that is, if you haven't really heard of anything that this person does, if you're not familiar with the person's work, then they're probably not the right coach for you. They might still be beneficial to someone else, especially someone who's just getting into voiceover. But if they're not really living off what they teach and what they share with people and what they coach, then they might not know what they're doing, at least not as well as someone who actually does this on a day-to-day basis. Also, make sure you get a coach who's actually in the field and working well in the field that you're wanting to go into. If it's character work, get a character voice actor as a coach. If it's commercial work, get a really successful commercial voice actor as a coach. You don't want to get the other. I mean, both coaches will have information that the other side can use, but if you really want to benefit from the coaching, find someone who you really, really can follow in their footsteps and can really learn from their day-to-day struggles and what they have to say. 7th would be getting a demo. Finally, you have the setup, you understand it, you've gotten the coaching, you know how to use a microphone, you've watched all the videos. Now get demos. Now, you don't have to buy demos from an actual professional demo production company. I kind of suggest doing that because you're not going to make as many mistakes as I did sending out really piss poor demos to people. I sent out so many bad demos to people and got so many rejections and so much no and so many. It was just a bad experience. Now, I've learned a lot from it. I've learned so much from it, and I still produce my own demos now, but I produce my demos now really well because I've learned from all my mistakes and embarrassing demos that I've produced over the years. If you don't want to go through that, I kind of suggest that you should. I feel like everyone should be dragged through the mud at least one time. But if you don't want to go through that and you feel like you're ready for demos, now make sure that you're ready for demos. Once you've actually gotten really comfortable in front of the mic and the coaching is going well, then you can get demos. But if you haven't gone through the coaching, you haven't watched all the videos that you can possibly find, you're still working out your sound, then you're not ready for demos. But when you do, and you do have the demos, you finally get the demos, show those demos to as many people as you can. Spread them to as many places as you can. Go to every platform that hosts demos and profiles. Even if you're not going to be auditioning on voices.com or voice123, create a profile. The profiles are free. The profiles are free. You know, you have to pay for memberships to get extra benefits, but get the profile, set up all your information with the demos. There's actually been quite a few clients that I've actually gotten I haven't auditioned on those platforms in a long time, but they still came to me because they listened to my demos. They emailed me. They contacted me afterwards. And so I was still able to get clients and still able to get work and still able to get noticed because I had posted my demos online to as many platforms as possible. Also, create a YouTube channel. It's probably a good idea. One of the videos that you should have is basically your avatar or branding with your demo. Put that online. It becomes a really easy thing to do because then if you don't have your demos, on your phone, you can't send it to someone, and you want to show someone your demo, you can just go to your YouTube channel and play the video, and then just let them listen to the audio if you want them to get the demo. Also, having a good YouTube channel is beneficial because then you can take actual work that you've done, put together little snippets or demo reels, put those online, and that shows people I've done work. So post your demos to as many places as possible. Number 8 is audition. It's the most grueling part. Audition and probably cold calling. I put those together in one thing. I'd say audition and cold call probably about 20 times a day. That may seem like a lot, and for some people that may not seem like enough, but I'd say 20 is a good amount, especially when you're only recording on average about a minute to a minute and a half of audio for the audition, normally less, but sometimes especially if you're going into commercial or narration, it's going to be longer demos or longer samples that you're auditioning with, but normally it's about that long. So if you were to do them consecutively, that's 20 minutes. But if you add in the editing time, which is normally 2 to 3 times the amount of time that it takes you to edit, unless you have a lot of really good presets already set in. So we're probably looking at about an hour of recording if you were to do them real quick, really fast. So it's not that much out of your day. Now, let's say that it takes a while to read over them, so let's say 3 hours. 3 hours a day of auditioning. After a while, you'll know that you don't have to audition for that many things because after a while, there won't be that many things that you should audition for. Like for me, there's lots of narration and commercial work that I don't really do. So there's lots of those auditions that I just kind of skip, especially most people are looking for, unless it's like a tech demo or something, like it's an app and it's cool and they're looking for that cool young guy. Normally it's middle-aged and they want a more manly or more masculine voice, more macho voice. And so I know, I'm not going to audition for that. That doesn't apply to me. That doesn't sound like me. So I'm not even going to waste my time. But audition as much as possible. There's tons of websites that you can go to audition. If you do get an agent, let them know I'm available for anything. Send me whatever you got. Audition as much as possible. Not only will you get better at doing voiceover and get better reading different samples and reading different characters and reading different roles, you'll also get better at your presets in your DAW, and you'll get better at mixing and mastering, and you'll get faster at it, and you'll get better at reading. It's just, even if you don't land the roles, it's good experience and it's good practice. And final advice is to keep doing all of these things over and over and over again, consecutively, every single day, every single week. Keep doing it. Just constant, every day. Otherwise, you're not going to make as much progress. You're not going to get as good, and you're not going to get as fast, and you're not going to get as experienced. So every day, watch as many videos as you can. Every day, do as many auditions. Every day, learn more about your setup, your microphone, your mixer, your program. Every day, find new places to promote yourself and put your demos out there. Every day, contact new clients and contact new people. Every day, every single day. And that's probably the most daunting part, is the fact that it's every single day. And that's something that you definitely need to be aware of going into this. It's going to be every single day, especially if you want to make this a career. If you want to make this your bread and butter every single day. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. If you're new, subscribe. If you want to be notified, hit the notification bell. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. And until next time, peace.